diversity and labels. We've seen it everywhere. It's a really common thing that people just look at someone and think they can read who they are just by how they look. It's one of my pet peeves. One of my biggest pet peeves is to be labeled before anyone gets to know me. I mean, I hate it. Like, I hate it when someone looks at me and think they know exactly who I am just because of how I look, talk, or any other action that I do. Why am I so passionate about this? I'm just tired of people looking at me like, oh, just because I don't have, like, the prettiest face does not mean, like, I'm not that good of a person. Sometimes you just can't judge a book by its cover. You're taking my image, my picture, my face, and sometimes they make it into something and I'm not. Sometimes it's half our fault, I think. Because sometimes when we're given a label, sometimes we think we have to own up to it. Like, all right, they're calling me this, then I guess I have to prefer their wishes and be exactly like that. I mean, I hate that. Like, you can't just change your whole image just because of what someone else thinks of you. And sometimes, some of those people who label you or stereotype you, they're either doing that to be mean or because they have the wrong idea. I mean, sometimes you have to figure that out for yourself. Stereotyping can be one of the worst things that can ever happen in this society. I mean, I'll admit, there are far worse things, but stereotyping has to be in one of my top 5. I mean, I hear it everywhere. I hear just these stupid, lame, label-type stereotypes that, like, I barely believe them, but it's just stupid how, like, just based off of something that they think they can just read, that they know exactly who someone is just by the way they look or what they like to do. I'm going to list off the 5 most common stereotypes that I hear a lot. Before I list them off, just know that I do get kind of specific in these 5 stereotypes, but just know that just because I say them on camera does not mean I believe them. I mean, I don't believe in any of these things that I'm about to read off. First one, jocks are jerks. 2, blondes are stupid. 3, cheerleaders are bitches. 4, guys with higher voices than normal are gay. 5, people with glasses are nerds. I mean, even just reading them out loud, it just reminds me on how ridiculous this whole labeling thing is. I mean, it's so stupid. Why exactly do I not believe in these 5 stereotypes that I listed off? When I started high school, I was going in saying all this stuff like, all right, I'm not going to have any trouble with the jocks. I'm not going to be that guy who always follows the cheerleaders around. I'm going to try to keep a low profile just so I don't hit the stereotypical image and I don't get myself in trouble. But as I move on in my freshman year, all of a sudden I see I'm friends with a lot of the jocks. I'm friends with a lot of girls who are popular just by sitting at the wrong lunch table, to be honest. My best friend was sitting with the cheerleaders, and I thought, wow, they're actually nice. I was walking through high school, and I was afraid of being just that one kid who's like always getting picked on by the jocks, or not being the popular one, or just like all this other crap that really doesn't matter. And it's ridiculous now that I look at my school, it's ridiculous to see that there are still so many stereotypes going around saying like, oh, you know, blondes are stupid, or these people are nerds, or just like, it's the dumbest thing that I've ever heard is someone being stereotyped. And after, like, I hear all these stories and stuff going on about like all these stereotypes and stuff, and then I look at my school and I'm thinking, all that is complete bullshit. Like, our cheerleaders are nice, our jocks are nice, and then everyone who's like always into school stuff, like the popular ones, they're nice to everyone, unless they have that one person who pisses them off, and yeah, that happens. But just because it works out for my school does not mean it works with other schools. Like, there could be other schools where, yeah, the jocks are actually jerks, that that all the popular people look down on the other people going through high school, and they make fun of them, and all this bullying and stuff going around. A lot of other people might not say it, but I feel like my high school has a really good community. Yet, there is a point of diversity. There is a point in diversity in my school. Like, yeah, there's the cheerleaders at one table, there's the jocks at another table, but through like games and stuff, and people who come in and try to fit in, people who try to do it, they're always let in. They're never blocked out, unless they choose to be blocked out. I mean, I couldn't really say the same for myself. I sometimes feel blocked out, but I feel like that's partially my fault, because I want to be let in, but I am too afraid of actually trying to get in, because I'm afraid, like, I don't know what to say, I don't know what to do, all this stuff, and that's why I have trouble being social, because sometimes, even though I don't officially believe in these stereotypes, they always come into my mind and think, oh, what if this actually happens? What if everyone turns on me? And I'm always superstitious, I'm always nervous that everyone is going to turn on me. And sometimes I look back and just like, Justin, what the hell were you thinking? Like, these people are actually your friends. But like, no matter how many times I say that, I'm always afraid, just like, are they? I don't know. Just like, sometimes for me, it's too hard to tell. Yet I don't officially know, like, other people's minds. Like, am I really a part of this group, or am I just like a standby? But sometimes I feel like I'm just kidding myself, because I'm letting these other stereotypes in my head, and I'm letting them mess with me in order to think, like, just sometimes to scare myself, to get myself out of these situations. Yet sometimes I push myself past that, and sometimes it doesn't end well, sometimes I'll admit, but I think it's ridiculous how I always have to refer back to these common stereotypes just because I'm afraid. And I'm even too scared to talk to the girl that I like. Yeah, it's weird. I can't believe I just said that on camera. What the hell is wrong with me? But I'm always scared of, like, these stereotypes actually becoming true. Like, what if next year these jocks are actually going to be jerks, and I'm no longer part of the group? I'm always afraid. I'm always on my toes because of my trust issues that I will probably explain in another video. But it's always hard for me because I always have these stereotypes, like I said, circling my mind. I'm sorry that I'm saying the same thing over and over, but I'm trying to deliver a point. My point is, sometimes we can't let these stereotypes get to our heads. And yes, some people keep having these stereotypes in their head that there's a big diversity going on, and like, alright, I have to just stick to my friends, I shouldn't meet someone new. But sometimes I don't completely understand why we have to be so diverse. I mean, what's wrong with, like, a jock, like, and a nerd hanging out? Like, there's no point in that not happening. I mean, it's just ridiculous. But why exactly does it happen? Why does everyone find these common stereotypes, and why they think they're all true? My theory is because of media. Because of the TV shows and the movies we watch. Think about this. Every single high school movie type thing that you see on TV or rent out in the stores or see in the theaters, every movie that revolves around a high school, the main character who's always getting picked on is usually like a nerd of some sort, or like a lower classman. And usually the big bully, the big enemy in the whole movie is usually a jock. I mean, if you go through a lot of your favorite movies that revolve around a high school, you'll see that almost every single freaking bad guy is a jock or a football player of some sort. And the media is almost ruining it. I mean, and also the bitchy one, and who could also be the prettiest girl in school, is usually a cheerleader. I mean, if you look through all of the movies, you'll see that main character is always a lower classman, the bully is usually a jock, and the pretty one, or the bitchy one, is usually a cheerleader. And this scares us. And it's just dumb how we just look at something and all of a sudden we think, oh crap, that might be real. I mean, they do it every single freaking time and it's annoying. I think it's just stupid on how they always have to stereotype those kinds of people. Especially those targeting those groups. Why don't they go after, like, girl basketball players is always the pretty one and the bitchy one? No, it always has to be a cheerleader. Or what if the big, what if, I mean, there are one or two movies of this, but, like, what if the big bully was a nerd of some sort and the guy is a jock and maybe some kind of a lower classman? But it's just, my point is, we see, and then that becomes our natural instinct. Like, we see all this stuff in the movies, and we think, oh crap, this is all going to be real. I should try to avoid that. I should try to avoid all this drama that could happen. And sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. But sometimes there's a difference on how we take this. We can either think that this is all true, or like those people who think they're the lower classmen and they watch these movies, we can think that this is all true. Like, the cheerleaders are always bitchy, and the jocks are always jerks. I'm sorry that I keep going back to this, but, like, it's the biggest one that I can use in a certain scenario. And then another way they can put it is those people, the jocks and the cheerleaders, they think that they, like, I'm not talking about, I'm not trying to be specific here, but, like, some could, some couldn't, but they could just watch that and think that they have to take on that role. Like, they have to be the jerk because they think they're the biggest popular person in the school and they think they own it. And sometimes they think they have to take on that role, which is ridiculous. I'm not saying it happens every time. What I'm saying is sometimes it can happen, and sometimes it does happen. And sometimes we think this and we're paranoid when really all we're doing is just stereotyping someone and labeling someone. And that makes us the jerks. That we're just looking at someone in a certain way and we're just labeling them on being the jerk when maybe we're the actual ones being the jerk by giving them an image that they might not actually be. Maybe that person is, maybe the big strong jock is actually really nice inside, but no one gives them the chance to explain themselves. They always judge a book by its cover, and we say that so many times. And how many people actually listen to that phrase? Like, actually try to answer that in your head. How many people actually listen to that phrase, don't judge a book by its cover? And think about that, and how many people should listen to it? As you can see, I'm really passionate about this topic because I don't want people to go through high school or their job or whatever and they're just afraid because of what everyone else thinks and what they're labeling them as. Stereotyping is a really common thing. I mean, sometimes we can't fight to stereotype. But the best thing that we can do is try to fight it and give people a chance. If we give the people the chance to explain themselves and to show them who we truly are inside, instead of just giving them an outer appearance image, that would make life a hell of a lot easier. And we would make new friends. We would meet new people. And sometimes you just need to take a chance and look past the stereotypical image and try to get to know the person. That's all I wanted to say for this POV video. Thank you guys for watching this. If you guys like this, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Do what you guys do in that YouTube. Follow me on Twitter, @OperationGamer1, all that cool stuff. I did not get any comments last video, so sorry that there was no shout out. But be sure to comment down below what your opinion is on this, because I want to start, like, recognizing people in the video. Because if you comment down something good and I really, really like it, then I'll put you in the video. I'll put your comment in the video. My friend Alex, also known as Fluffy Dragon 32, I'll put an annotation right here. He also did he also did a little session on Stereotypes and what he thinks of it. Be sure to go check that out. And also be sure to subscribe to him because he's awesome. He's an awesome guy. He doesn't upload a lot, but he tries as much as he can. But anyway, thank you guys for